7 minutes till, 10 minutes till at the earliest, but we're going to go ahead and get started right now.
All right. I'm excited.
All right. Thank you. And all of you, this is a process. It's a breathing, oming, breathing, silence. Then Treb comes in. All of the questions that you ask him will be reflections of your own energy from the Oversoul. So please be mindful. The more aligned that you are, the more at ease you are, the more fun and excitement that you have within you, the greater the questions will come out. And we'll see you on the other side, guys. Love ya. Good evening, Kalina.
Oh, good evening, Trev. How are you?
I am doing very well, and how are you doing in this evening?
I'm very, very excited.
Yes,
Happy to talk to you. Happy for you to connect to our beautiful callers.
Yes, and I am very excited to speak to you as well. Although I will be addressing the callers in this evening, I have spoke to the host with an idea that is very resonant to him. What I will do is address the callers in this evening, and then I will let the entity that you would know to be auditive, the Nebian entity, or what the host calls the ancient Pleiadian entity, known as auditive. And once I am connected to this entity, he will speak to all of you, and then he will take a question from each and every one of you. And in this idea, I find great excitement as well. And now I must speak of the idea that the host has requested, and this is abundance. In the idea of humanity, there are many levels of abundance. There is financial abundance, there is abundance in relationships, abundance in your growth of a spiritual nature or growth of a mental nature, such as the educative process that you have chosen, such as the idea of growing within any base of knowledge, whether it be of a formal education or whether it be from a non-formal education. All of these concepts are one that are abundance. And this is a very great, acceptable concept of what abundance is, but let us express from our own perspective what true abundance is. In the idea of what it is to be abundant, this comes in only one form. In our own perception, what abundance is the ability to stay within your excitement at all times while living in each moment. And this seems to be not a very complex concept, not a very big idea, one that is perhaps groundbreaking or earth-shaking in your own words. But if you look at the concept of how many entities upon your earth are truly doing this at all times, this is an idea that expresses the concept that living in the now, in your excitement, placing all amounts of focus of your energy into any portion of consciousness, whether it be the excitement to sing a song, or the excitement to build the most great technology, or the excitement to pray and meditate each day. Some of you look at all of these with a separate gauge. Some of you look at these and say, this excitement is not worth investing my energy in, and this excitement is more worthy. And this is very true for your own truth and your own perception. But when an entity who is appearing to be outside of you takes the same stance upon one concept that is not resonant with you, many of the other entities that you are begin to judge the other entity. You begin to express, why would this be in your excitement when it is zero excitement of my own? Let us express that this type of judgment can be something that is not only a detriment to yourself, but also a detriment to the entity that you co-create with. When we speak of detriment, as you are very aware, our own race does not see a good or bad, does not see a positive or negative, but what a detriment is by definition to our own people, this beautiful English word that you have crafted, what it means to us is the inability to help you grow. And in this concept, judgments that you make of any sort or any variety can be detrimental. So as you go through your experience, if you are one of these that tend to be perceived as a rare one who is truly excited and living in that moment of excitement at each time, there is also energy that you will drop in your own vibration when you begin to judge others. So what we wish to express to all of you is that if you wish to have the true concept of abundance, if you wish to have the definition of our own race of abundance, to be happy, excited, to live in those excitements, and to also live those excitements within the moment, there are a few ideas and concepts that we wish to share with you. The very first, living in your excitement, this idea alone can stump many of you. It is what is exciting for me and what is exciting for my own existence to try and to experience. So let us use a few suggestions. There are many things that one can do at this time, as you are all well aware, and this in itself can be one of the problematic ideas for you. Which one of these things, of many things that I like, should be my highest excitement? Which one of these things that I like less can be exciting enough for me to entertain? What we express by excitement of any is to place an idea within your own mind, and if it resonates in that moment, if nothing else that is going through your mind or is presented to you is as exciting or as interesting as this idea, then this would be your highest excitement. We do not mean that if you wish to have sexuality with one another, and this is your favorite thing to do, that you must always do this, and if you cannot, you must find ways to do this. What we are expressing is that when the moment of sexuality comes, then have this time, if this is your greatest excitement. But when you are not able to have sexuality, then find something that is of a high resonance, but not in the same way. Find something that you are able to do in that moment that can be exciting. Now, what we mean by living in the now, we have used this terminology, we have used this example with all of you several times, but it is never one that gets old in your concept. It is one that never lacks validity, so we will express this once more. That when you are living in the now, truly living in the now, that if you are projecting concepts into your past, when you are looking behind you in a linear time fashion and expressing that this point of period in my life, I was a very negative person. I hurt many people's feelings. I did not have the proper relationships that I desired and wished for. What you are doing is now taking your emotional, energetic self, and you are taking let us use the example that we have used, a 1 gallon or 1 liter of water. This represents your container as well as your consciousness. Now we are taking 1/8 of this and placing it in the past. You are now emotionally and energetically yourself to a concept in the past, so you are taking consciousness away from the now moment. So now that we look at these negative things that we have perceived to be in the past and taken this out and placed it in the past, now you are at 7/8 of a liter. Now that we are done with this idea, we must project ourselves in the future, as many humans feel that they must. What is going to happen next week? We have planned this wonderful event in which entities may come and share our own experience. We are excited of this, but we are worried that this cannot happen in a short time. We are worried that we have charged too much for an entity to join in, so now we have placed this within the future. And when we have done this, we have placed an emotional and energetic attachment to this, so we must take energy from the now. So now we are taking 1/4. So now we are left with 1/8 into the past and 1/4 into the future. And when you look in this 1/4 and 1/8, this is 5/8 that is left in the now time. Now we are going to release some of this because we are nervous and anxious in the now moment about what is happening in this moment. It is not going as I have anticipated. I have made expectations, and we place another 1/8 of water out. Now we have half of the amount of consciousness that it takes to manifest in any one given moment, and we have given it not only to the past, but also to our future, but more so worrying and being fearful in the now state, and now we have exactly 1/2 of the amount of consciousness that it takes to manifest in a full way, in an excitable way, in an abundant way, and given it into other areas. This is what we mean by detriment, this is what we mean by abundant, and this is what we mean by truly living in the now. If you can place all of your energy, all of your thought, all of your excitement into this one area of time, then you will be able to manifest as a master is able to manifest, most instantaneously and without a feeling of negative consequence. Now I will connect to the entity that you call Audidif, and he will express the idea of what happens when you are manifesting in the now, but it appears to be negative to you. One moment as I will connect to this entity. Yes, and thank you as well. It is very great to have spoken to you, Kalina, and we will speak before the end of this evening.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Trev. That was amazing.
Yes, and it is very amazing as well to be here. One moment, please, as we connect to Audidif. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Audidif. Many of you have not heard my own voice or my own energy in each moment, but let us give an exponential introduction not only to the energy but the concept that we wished and desire to speak of in this evening. First of all, my name is Ardadif. This is a name that I have given to the human race to call me in any given moment. It is one that links back to your history of the name of the star in which we come from. The star that I come from now is the area that you call Deneb. Deneb is a very large star, one which requires the planet to be much further away than even your furthest planet from our star in order to survive in the way that you understand physical life may survive. But let us assure you of one thing. Our physicality is nothing like yours. Our harmonic level is 2 levels above your own. We understand that the entity that you call Trebor Yitni has shared many things with you about densities and dimensions, as have we. But also through this sharing, you will come to understand that our levels of densities and dimensions are slightly different than those of the entity that you call Treb. We look into a density that is only of 3. The entity you call Treb looks at those from 6. So for a purposeful sake, to avoid confusion, we will stick with the measurements that you are aware of. In the 6th density is where I reside. In my own measurements, this is the 3rd. But again, this has little relevance to what we are speaking of. I only wish to share an introduction of my own self with you, as is customary to your own planet. Now we will speak of what Treb Bor Yitni has asked us to speak about. What happens in the moment of manifestation when your race perceives it to be a negative manifestation? This answer can be very simply put in one word: expectations. This word alone has plagued your own race for thousands of years. This one word has made very difficult for your race to come through adversity and to come through upon the other side with more manifestations than you could without it. This expectations has become very difficult for many of you to handle because your system of beliefs, your systems of thoughts that were given to you from your ancestors, through your DNA, through the teachings in the books every day, only allows you to see one way to manifest any one thing. We wish to share that this is not true, that there are many ways to manifest. As you look forward into one manifestational property, you will see that there are literally an infinite amount of probable answers to this manifestation. There are millions and trillions of probable answers and manifestations per one concept. We know that mathematically your race has achieved many great things, but we cannot use numbers to describe these. We cannot use numbers to adequately describe any of our own processes of the amounts of probabilities that may come of one variant. We understand very well that you understand the word infinitely, or you understand the word infinite, but this is very, very large for any living mind to truly understand. Even in our own race, as we have evolved thousands of years through many different varieties of evolutionary tactics, we have still found the word infinitely to be very uncomprehendable. This is something that is very brilliant to look into, but will never be answered, as infinitely truly means infinitely, and there is never one mind in the universe that can comprehend every possible probability in any one given way. If my own race, that you as your race looks up to us and sees us as perfect, looks up to us and sees as well more advanced than your own race, even though this is not true from our own perception, even though we see you as equals, you have an understanding that we have experienced more, that our evolutionary path has brought us past the evolutionary path of your own race. This is not a numbers game. It is only a point of time game. If you were living outside of your linear paths and linear points of view, you would see that in any probability, humanity may pass us experientially. Now, throwing all of these things to the side and speaking at the matter that is on hand, we will now look at each manifestation individually. Let us use the example that Trebor Yitni has used with you. This example that he gave, wanting to find an event to happen. There was one way that this would happen, that there would be sales of tickets, people buying, and people listening to videos and watching on YouTubes, perhaps read a flyer that is in a city. These are the ways that it can come. There was never one intentional thought that there might be something outside of this that can call other people. There was no concept that if the trip was made, whether tickets were sold or tickets were not sold, that the event could happen anyway. All of these probabilities and possibilities were thrown aside. They were strewn to either side of one probability or the other and not considered as probable and valid experiences. This is why those concepts will never manifest in those ways. Now let us say that in your own mind you have the worst possible scenario. This, again, is a misnomer. There is no worst possible scenario, but to appease you in your own thinking, we will give you this. We will say, now you have experienced the worst possible scenario, that no one has joined your event, that you cannot do this event. This is a negative thing. Now, let us readjust this thinking for one moment. Let us place our own perceptions to your own hearts to see if it resonates with you. If this is the worst case scenario, that means any hidden blessing that can be found within this area will be missed as well. All things that happen for any reason at any given time may have positive things coming out of this. You did not consider the ideas of all of the people that you have met in the process of pushing out. Although you have considered this slightly, you have not considered the larger implications of this. You have not considered that if you were to have taken this trip and a tire was to be blown, that you would not have the capability to be back to your home in the same time that you need to be for other things that you have promised your time away to. You have not considered that in this car tire exploding, that an accident can be had and that death could come from this, that your life would be removed before you had the opportunity to truly encompass your excitements. All of these things are lacking in consideration because your expectations has removed these. Let us express from any given point that all of these are only examples. These are only things that are slight to large probabilities pending on the algorithm and mathematical versions that you might see of each of these. So let us strew them all aside again. Let us begin to speak of the way to truly perceive any outcome as a positive one. If you have not made your mind up before you enter any concept, if you truly have no expectations, then there is no outcome that is negative. There is no outcome that can be bad. And if you look at all of these things and place them into a larger box, then perhaps just this change of perception may change all things within your existence. This is what we wish to share of the idea that Trebor Yitni has asked us to share. I know that there are many people who wish to speak of many different things, and we are now willing and accepting any questions that come of this.
Oh, thank you so much, Ardis. That is amazing, amazing insight, and I want to thank you for joining us tonight.
I wish to also thank you, Kalina, as I know your heart is full of excitement for all things that help humanity, and by making a selfless act of your own self, Selfless is not a word that is proper now that I am seeing the true nature of this word, but by changing your own heart and by allowing it to be connected to many other hearts through your excitements, I am not sure if a word defines or encompasses this idea, but if there is a word, replace selflessness with this word, and this will now show you why my gratitude is for you as well.
Thank you. All right.
You are very welcome.
Thank you. Well, I will go ahead and start with area code 404. You've been waiting a very long time. I'm trying to get my microphone to unmute for 404. 404, are you there? Okay, 404 doesn't seem to be working, so we'll go back to you, 404. 517, who do we have with us this evening?
Well, if I'm your 517, I am Jen.
Hi, Jen. How are you?
I am so full of energy from listening to Ardith, and I'm so tickled that I actually get to speak with you. I have spoken with Treb on several occasions, and that can at times be my highest excitement. But I believe that I have actually had an experience in the last couple of months in our linear time that is so right up. I can't. And I guess the reason I actually hung up once because I thought, oh, this is trite, and I don't want to talk about it. But in light of you and Rob and Brad and his new sweetie, I have to talk about it. I want to know who sent the skunks to my house. Because 6 weeks ago it opened a door that Treb had told me one time I had a 37% chance of. And
yes. Do you wish to speak of what caused this mechanism?
Well, I just feel like this whole unfolding in retrospect and looking back at the situation, it's like, wow, talk about creation and abundance and all excitement. I've never experienced this level before.
It is most obvious to yourself that your excitement has led you here this evening as it has led you to Trebor Yitney before, and we wish to congratulate you on being brave enough through a member of the human race to embrace that excitement and live in it. Now, in these weird circumstances that you have, all of these things that happen to you, one synchronicity after another that lead you to a greater excitement, we will talk on this as well. Because you have judged specific aspects of this, but you have let go more than you have held on to, you are allowed by your oversoul to have these experiences as a part of your highest excitement. When you see these skunks that you speak of, you believe them to be a negative thing, but as progression, as time progressed, as you have seen one attribute of another, synchronicity coming and going, you understand now how important this was to take place. Your oversoul is always leading you. The entity that you call Trebor Yitney has expressed an example of a cat chasing a laser. The higher self, the oversoul, both of these are the laser pointers in your existence. Because you were brave enough to embrace your excitement, your oversoul led you to a path that was more exciting. Your 37% became 97%, and you dove into a head first. And we congratulate you for this.
I'm overwhelmed and filled with absolute excitement, and I love the discussion of abundance. You know, it has so many different meanings to so many different people. And in fact, one of my conversations with Trev was, I feel such abundance. I find joy in cleaning toilet bowls. You know, just because that's where I'm at, and it's great, and I can sing songs while I'm doing that and have a ball. So I see that I've created it all, and I'm so happy with all of it. I'm in awe and gratitude.
Congratulations on your manifestation, and we do remember your connection with Trevor Yitney in the toilet bowl incident that you speak of. We are congratulating
I figured
you.
that might trigger a thought.
Yes, we congratulate you for finding excitement into what most entities on your planet perceive as the mundane.
Yeah. It's there. Just gotta release the resistance. That's it.
Yes.
and then the other thing is no expectation. And I am 62 Earth years old, and have spent probably the last 20 of them consciously and probably subconsciously eliminating and just allowing. And most people would look at my life and go, you have to be kidding. I have a chicken living with me in the basement. I live with my 96-year-old mother in a suburban Michigan. I'm in Michigan, not far from Rob. House, and most people look at me and think I'm crazy, but I'm having a ball. I babysit for a 3-month-old baby, and often his 8-year-old brother, and sometimes my other friend's 13-year-old is here, and we just have a grand time.
Oh, well, congratulations, Jen.
And I wish I could come and be with all of you guys in Asheville. I will be there part of me will be there.
We are working to co-create another time in October. So I want to take the time to say thank you so much for your call, Jen. I'm going to take another caller, but thank you
bless you guys. I love you all so much.
It was
really very, very loving to get to meet you, artists, and I'll look forward to another time.
Yes, we will speak again, I am sure, and I also send you your own gratitude back to you, for it is you who has caused all of the mechanisms in your life that has caused this great excitement. Again, we congratulate you.
Oh, thank you. Now we're going to try 404 again. Yay, looks like the microphone's working. 404, are you there? Oh.
Hello.
Hey. Hi. Who do we have with us this evening?
Oh, yes. Thanks. You calling me, and I don't know, I could hear you clearly, but you couldn't, I guess, on that end. I don't know. So
is this Kavita?
I'm trying my number again.
No problem.
So I had 2 questions. One was related to a dream that my boyfriend had last night about aliens. He saw that some aliens landed on Earth, and a lot of people, they were very excited about meeting them. And also a couple of weeks ago, I had a dream about reptilians. There were benevolent reptilians, which I assumed to be Treb or maybe some other benevolent reptilian, and also some maybe not so benevolent ones. So I was just wondering, some insight about these dreams. And also the next question is if Aridif could do an energetic reading, and there is some stuff going on in our lives right now related to some court case. And so my question was, what do I need to know about the court case and about the state of our finances in the coming months, and what can we do to resolve this challenge and let the abundance flow in effortlessly?
As I am understanding the specific protocol of this evening, we are to take one question per person, and in this way, which of these are most important to you?
I believe the second question.
Is this the question that refers to?
About the court case and the state of our finances. What do we need to know about it, and how can we resolve this challenge?
There are many things that we can tell you about any probability that you experience or will experience, but there is only one thing that can be told that will help you resolve this as well as all other adversities in your own existence. You have seen this as a problem. This is what we were expressing earlier in this evening when we talked about the adversities of the human mind to see many probabilities and not expecting one to play out more so than the other. What you can do to help this go through without any negative ramifications in your own perception for you is to know that all things are possible, that none should be expected, and only go into this with your heart open, your mind open, your excitements into full throttle, and to know that everything is working out as it should. Now, when you want to speak of specifics, as long as you are willing to speak your heart, as long as you are willing to show this court that you are truly being honest within your own self, that you are not doing what is being accused back to you of in the way that they are accusing you, when you are not a person who is negative, when you are helping others, when you are truly trying to make the greatest of your existence, then this will come back in a positive way to you. When you look at finances in any given point of your own existence, there is only a reflection of negativity or lack of abundance because your definition of abundance has escaped you. Your definition of abundance has only wrapped around one concept of money. There are many abundances that you have. We know that your connection to your boyfriend and his to yours is something very special, very unique. We know that all entities in your existence that are children are also very important to you. When you look at these attributes of your life, you are already abundant. When you look at the knowledge that you share with one another as well as receive from entities around you, you are abundant. When you focus on this abundance, when you redefine what abundance is in your own mind and heart, you will see that all of these financial things are only a side effect of your own perception of what abundance is. You will see that these side effects that you have on any given subject in your life is only a reflection of how you feel about the one idea inside of you. What we can suggest for you to do is to refocus your focus, to recenter your thinking, to recorrect any faulty ideas of what you have about lacking of anything, about projecting your consciousness in one fashion or the other, either into the future or into the past. What Trebor Yitney spoke about in this evening was very vital to the human experience in general, but more so if you think about every aspect of your own personal questions, of every question that you spoke to me of, that is one way to achieve all of these things without worrying about fines, without worrying about jail, without worrying about any negative consequence from a court system. The court system is only the judgment you have within yourself being manifested out into a reality that is not truly there. Once you see that the judgment you have inside for yourself is what is causing this and release it, all of the consequences that you perceive as negative will be released as well. Do not perceive any one thing. Continue to roll with your own energy, your perceptions open, your expectations removed, and you will be rewarded. Before we disconnect from you in this one question, we understand that the allowances is one question, but there is something important in your own dreams as well. These dreams that you have described are very detailed in specific ways of entities that come from outside of your planet in your own perception into your planet with lack of acceptance. This is also a very high symbolism. It has multiple facets of meanings, and if you look at each one individually, you will see that all of these are based in one idea of lack of acceptance. It is truly a manifestation and symbology of these entities coming inward, of these entities wishing to share something with you, and the rest of the people around you rejecting them, so it does not give you the bridge to the connection that you desire. But also, if you look at it in a smaller scale, if you look at this on a more personal and individual level, this is much of what is happening inside of you. There are entities who have come around you, who have not accepted you in your own perception. But again, this is coming from within. This is your own lack of acceptance of oneself that allows these things to be played out as if they are a play in the local theatrical club. All of these plays that come down have different characters and different assignments, and this is what you are giving these other entities who come into you. You are placing assignments on each one of them as an interactive means to communicate and connect and to transfer information and drama with, but really what has happened is the inside of you is fighting yourself. When you release this, when you release the fight, all of the fighting mechanisms around you, all the things that you perceive to be external will fall. They will no longer be a threat to your safety. They will no longer be a threat to your living in happiness. So be happy with yourself and you will see it go outward of you.
Thank you so much, caller and Arda, for that. That's, gosh, so amazing. I'm really loving this night. And I'll go ahead and take our next caller. Looks like in Silicon Valley. I used to live in the 408 area code way back when. 408, who do we have with us this evening? Hi.
My name is Sharon, and I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to talk with you guys this evening.
Oh, we're thrilled to have you. You have a question for Arda?
I do. Artis, could you help me to understand what my spiritual gifts are and how to more completely develop whatever they are?
Absolutely. We first must start with a reflection of your own mind and heart. What in the spiritual concepts excites you the greatest?
Actually, standing in the light is my big thing. I love the energy.
Well, we understand. Yes, the energy of standing in the light is much more preferred by entities such as yourself, such as myself, as standing in the dark. What a great illumination that we see and we feel, the warmth of this light, all of these things that come to us via love, via acceptance, via connection to the Creator. All of these things are super existential. It is very beautiful and very great and very extensive. So what we can reflect back to you is in your excitement of standing in the light, this in itself can be your purpose if you wish. This can be your purpose if you desire it. If you wish to expand more than that, you have many talents. You have a heart that is able to love. You have a heart that is able to connect to other hearts. You have a very rare capability to manipulate energy within your own chakras on multifaceted levels. Let us explain more. Many chakras start in the heart base and end up going simultaneously upwards and downwards through many separate chakra areas. Each one of these are individually purposed as well as collectively purposed, and as they connect intertwiningly one with another, each one serves its individual and collective purpose to have your own energetic purpose going through your physical existence as you connect to other entities, as you connect to other energies. But what yours does is special. It is more than this. It is much more than this. Your ability to do this simultaneously as well as placing additional energy from your own systems to other entities is something that very few entities have in this moment in your place of evolution. What this is called is a high-level energetic healer. Many energetic healers have this, but not to the extent that you do. They are able to share their gift with others to heal them from cancer and AIDS and all of these things that are very terrifying and considered not curable by your own Western medicative or Western medicine society. What you can give to humanity, if it excites you, if you have no expectations, and if you are wanting to step forward and work upon these things that you naturally have is the ability to heal at any capacity, at any time level, at any of your own energy that you desire to expart from your physical self. Your non-physical self has worked well with your physical self for some time. Although there's been issues, you have always found a way to come out of it with a smile. You have always found a way to come out of it in health that was better than the original health deprivation. When you start to do this, when you start to connect, you may do it at any level that you wish to, if it excites you, and you can share this with the entire world. This is one gift. This is one of an infinite amount of gifts that you have personally.
Oh, wow. And I would like to add just a little something of my own, Karen. An author named Barbara Brennan. There's a book called Hands of Light. She's written others, and I feel like that's a really good book for all kinds of energy healing, for instance, and talking about the chakras and things like that. I would definitely recommend Googling Barbara Brennan and looking into that, because I feel like that might be a good way if it excites you. And I want to thank you for your call. And thank you, Ardis. Do we have time for one more quick caller?
Yes, time does not exist, but in your own perception, we do believe we have time for at least one more.
Wonderful. I'm looking to see who's been on hold the longest. It looks like 561. Who do we have with us?
Hi, this is Gail. How are you?
Hi, Gail. We're great. How are you doing?
I'm awesome. I'd like to say congratulations to the lovebirds.
Oh, thank you. We're very excited.
Well, I'm so grateful to be alive at this exciting time, and grateful to be on the show. Hi, Ardis. How are you?
We are doing great, and we are glad that you are happy about being alive in this wonderful time.
Well, I have a question for you. I was told that I have beings from another planet around me, and my question is, where are they from, and what would be their purpose with me?
This is a very simple answer to explain. One group of entities comes from a planet that is more commonly referred to as Santos 3. There is also more entities that surround you that are known as the Pleiadian region, my own race's home. But this is the simple answer. We do not have time to get into an extensive answer by your own definition and means of time, but what we will express is that these are not only the entities around you. These are the ones that are most prevalent in your energy that wish to connect you in this moment. There are literally thousands of entities that are within your oversoul that are easily able to be connected to at any time, not including the entities that are outside of your oversoul that are physically around you at all times, remembering that you live in a system that has 12 matrices that are lined perfectly stacked on top of one another, something that you might better refer to as dimensions, that 12 dimensions within this one universe, along with 6 densities or 3 harmonic levels. The universe tends to be a complex place, and in the complexity, we have simplified it as great as we can, but we can extend more so to say any entity is within your grasp at any moment. All that you must do is be excited. And these specific entities, the one that comes from Santos 3, the planet that is referred to by many in the galaxy as Santos 3, are entities who are very humanish and who are very connected to humanity. They wish and desire to give them help, although the entity that you call Trebor Yitni would consider them those of a type 2 nature. They are also very benevolent in nature as well. They do not have all of the capability or tools to see their connection to one. This is what excludes them from the rule of type 1 domain, if you will. And in these communications that they are connecting to you with, the line or telephone line, let us say, is open with you to them at any given moment. Work upon your own, focusing in the third eye and crown chakra, as well as your own meditational communications, and you may open this line to a greater degree, one in which your own perception will be able to receive in a quicker and greater fashion.
Wow, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Have a great day.
And I appreciate your time as well.
No, thank you so much, Gail. And Aradif, I want to say thank you so much for coming, and to the callers. Just so you know, we're going to be hearing a lot more from Aradif. We had spoken about this on my last show, so I'm very, very excited to be getting more connection with both Trev and Aradif. And Aradif, I want to thank you again for being with us tonight and sharing your heart and your wisdom.
I want to also thank you for sharing again what we call a multifaceted heart-to-heart connection in your own desire. And we also wish to express that Treb Bor-Yitney will be back in one moment, as he requests only one of your moments of time to say goodnight for the evening. I will bid you all adieu.
Yes, good night.
Yes, the entity that you know as Aradif that is connected to you in this evening, let us express why it is more, perhaps in the host mind and perhaps in the human collective mind to connect to this entity, is that when you are of a sixth entity nature, there is a concept that reflects that many of them do not wish to break apart their consciousness into smaller fractals so that they may communicate in smaller pieces of consciousness. When they tend to connect to an entity, they tend to do it from a level of their own full consciousness. As I am a fifth entity, I am always breaking my consciousness down so that I may send it multiple directions in one time. But the sixth entity has transcended time, has transcended space to such a very expertized degree that they are able and willing to connect only in full. And as this is not changed, and as a high probability in this galaxy will not change until the evolution of the soul changes, which is most likely a rebirthing of a new galaxy of all the collective consciousnesses, Aradif is always with us, but is with us in a different degree. I will express that while he is connected, the information is able to flow more specifically and more easily when connecting to an energy than it would be in my own situation or my own experience. But in this, his connection to the host is also must be built within time such as mine. The information that is shared this evening is appropriate and is connected and is well read by the host. And in this time, the more that he connects to this entity, the more that the information will flow in a more correct manner. One that is not correct as in the information correct, but correct in the attunement of the host and his connectability. And in these expressions of what we have shared this evening, we will leave you this evening in love and in light, and we will experience each other again very soon.
Thank you, Trev. We love you so much. I love you. It's been an absolute blast tonight.
Yes, and I love you as well. I love all of you as well, and we will see you very soon. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, how'd it go?
Amazing. It went awesome. And to the couple of callers that we didn't get to, like I said, we'll be hearing more from both Trev and Aradif. They'll be coming more online, and of course, if you want to get a donation paid or free session with Trev, you can go to www.trevchanneling.com. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Rob, I know you're kind of coming back into. We've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left before the Blog Talk Radio cuts us off in this little time frame.
I'll make it as quick as I can. Thank you all for
talk to Treb and or Ardith. And also, I want to tell all of you guys, thank you for supporting the Enlightenment Evolution Hour as well as the Enlightenment Evolution Network. We'll be here every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Pacific. But more than anyone in the world, I want to thank you, Kalina, for co-hosting this evening as well as running your own wonderful show on Friday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys all so much. Thank you, Kalina, so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You're most welcome.
I love you very much, and I love all of you guys very much.
You.
We'll see you here next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Thanks, guys.
Yes, I love all of you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful night.
All right, everybody. Good night.